scripted the equivalent of almost 3/4 of football for each, especially for the first and second group. And it was good because we didn't flinch, so we're in pretty good shape.
Why today? Why have a long practice today?
It's all progression. So we've been stair stepping and trying to add all with the mindfulness to be ready for week one, and so we just keep adding the load on top of our players to get them ready to play a full game. So right now, I feel confident that we could play a full game, even though we repped it the equivalent of about 3/4. But we'll have another long one coming up.
Did you do this last year, Robert?
This is different. Just the way we're approaching things from a practice standpoint is a lot different than we've done in the past. And knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it, but things have been going pretty good so far.
How happy were you with the operation on that last move ball drive?
It was not the 2-minute, but the move the ball period. Yeah, it was really good. The first unit does such a good job of just getting positive yards and just chopping wood. And then Tyrod obviously did a great job creating some explosives. So different ways to move the ball. All it takes is one play. But the first unit did a really nice job, just like I said, chopping wood. Second unit did a great job creating explosives.
What's your reaction to the sun?
I'm not going to elaborate any more than Joe did. It is what it is. I'm going to focus on the guys who are here.
I know you're focused on those guys, Robert, but I mean, how do you avoid this being a distraction?
It's not. I promise you, it's not. It's a great opportunity for the guys who are here. We love our D-line, we love our depth, especially at the DM position, and guys like Will McDonald, even Jermaine Johnson, Tack McKinley's getting a lot of run. So is Watts and McGregor and Clemens and Jalen. So we've got a lot of really good depth at the defensive end position, and they're all taking advantage of the extra opportunities that they're getting because of it.
Do you ever get to the point as a coach where you just kind of want to wash your hands of it, just get rid of them, we're done with it, just move on?
No, I'll never do that with a player at all. It's not frustrating because I don't have control over it. But we're, like I said, we're excited about our group. Still looking forward for him to get here when he's ready. And when he's ready, we're gonna embrace him with open arms and get ready to attack the moments that he brings to us.
Robert, obviously, you spoke with Sam.
I'm not gonna get into that one.
Have you spoken to him?
I have. I'm not going to say when.
You guys did lose a couple starters of edge rushers. Like, how confident are you that? Obviously, they're confident you have the guys, but are some of these guys going to have to step up? Some of these guys who are in a new role if Hassan isn't here.
It's the beautiful thing of the league. I kind of said it when we first got here. Our job is to make it very difficult on Joe and his staff to re-sign everybody, and you can't keep everybody, and then it's our job to develop the next wave and to keep things moving. And I feel like we've got a really good defensive line that's got a lot of depth, and yes, there's production that needs to be replaced. I'm not worried about where it's coming from.
It's obviously not going to happen this weekend with Aaron, but I'm curious, what are the things that go into the decision making as to whether to play him for a series or two when that time comes with the Giants?
There's a lot of different things in terms of, like I said, when the time is right, we'll all sit down. It's not going to be made in a phone booth. It's going to be made with a global thought. But and I've got a lot of thoughts. I don't want to get into all the details of what's going through my mind with regards to play him or not play him. But we'll definitely have a really lengthy discussion on whether or not it's the right thing to do for the organization.
Because of what happened last year, were you concerned about something freak happening? Or
no, something freaky can happen walking down the stairs. So I don't look at it in that regard. I just look at whether or not it's meaningful. Does it help us win in week one? And if we all feel like it'll help us win in week one and perform our best in week one, then we'll make the decision accordingly.
What kind of discussions have you had with him so far?
Just preliminary stuff. Just to get a feel, let him know where my mind's at, and let him know what I'm thinking, so he can process. And when that time comes to get the overall discussion, we'll sit down and address every angle everything that we need to address on whether or not it's right for the organization.
How much do this performance out here today, and along with the 2 joint practices coming up, have confidence that he's going to be ready for the practice?
Well, that's the whole thing. We said we're doing things differently. We're getting 3 different inter-squad scrimmages instead of the 1 or 2 that we've done in the past. Our rep count, I want to say, we're at a 3+ practice equivalent in terms of the amount of reps that we've put our guys through compared to years past. So we've gotten an extreme amount of reps. I don't have the exact numbers for you guys compared to years past, and we're going to get continued good work against Carolina and the Giants. So all of that will come into play.
Aaron didn't play last year, absent for a few plays. You have a lot of new pieces on the offensive line, a couple new pieces elsewhere. Is this an attempt to maybe not start slow, like is normally accustomed to a team or an offense that has multiple new pieces like you guys have?
It's just no, for sure. It's just. Are you talking about the way we're practicing?
Yeah, the way you're practicing.
No, it is. It's just we're just trying to play football. Talked about it earlier, and I'll go quick. I'll try to explain it. Back in the day, when I first got in the league, you played a quarter, then you played a second quarter, and then you brought your guys out for the third quarter. Everything was about making sure they got to a certain amount of reps. Well, nobody does that anymore. And because of the fact that it's a 17-game season, it's a long season, too much sacrifice of whatever you want to talk about in playing those extra games in the preseason. And so you have to manufacture it somewhere. And so we're doing it from a practice setting, and then it just comes down to whether or not are we just checking the box of throwing guys out there for a game, or is it actually purposeful in getting them acclimated to win. So we're designing it in a way where we're getting so many more reps than we traditionally would have in the past. And when the time comes, we'll decide whether or not our guys are prepared and ready.
Robert, how would you describe Nate Hackett's role this year versus last year? Is it the same? Have things modified? Other than the fact that the quarterback's back.
No, for sure, it's the same. He's still our play caller. He still runs the offense. He's still in full total control.
I mean, obviously, you haven't played any games yet, but I mean, he obviously has a synergy with Aaron. And that's something obviously you knew about coming in. Do you see that? What kind of things do you see in training camp and these kind of days, or do you have to have it be in a real game for that?
No, we'll see, because right now everything's bliss. Adversity always shows everybody their true character and true colors, and and you can learn from all of it too. But and I think all of us, including myself, including him, including players, we all, I think, learned so much from last year, and because of it, I think we're more prepared this year than we were a year ago to hit the curveball, if you will.
Couple more.
When do you start thinking about San Francisco, start introducing San Francisco stuff to the team?
Not gonna lie to you, that started the second the schedule came out.
How about introducing,
Say it one more time.
introducing stuff to the team? You start going, not game planning necessarily, but maybe start talking about concepts for San Francisco with the players.
We slip them in we want our players focusing on techniques and fundamentals. We'll slip them in to group install and walkthroughs here and there, but where offense might go against a couple looks, defense play a couple looks, but it's all within just getting it on tape just to see what we look like. But as far as actually introducing it to the players, that won't happen until the 53 is set.
You said yesterday that Jeremy's dealing with a few things. Can you be more specific? Is there?
He has. It's concussion.
Robert, with the Redding situation, Joe Douglas issued a statement yesterday. He said since the trade, we've been consistent with our position. What is the organization position?
Say it again. What's it?
What is the organization position? Joe said you've been consistent with your position.
I'm going to stick with whatever Joe said on that statement.
Stay with the position.
That's okay. I just don't want to address it, if that's okay.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.